This is the dawning of the age of the collectible. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Psych! Not in this hobby. That's literally the entire basis of the hobby, you know. Sure would be really convenient if there was just a online pool of a really cool card and we could all just go, see that one right there? That one's mine. Like when you were a kid and your grandma bought you a star and you're like, yeah, that one. Not realizing there's like 50 other kids that own that star too. You'll own nothing, you'll be happy. Psych. This is collectibles, baby. We are in the age of the collectible. Pokemon. It's just kind of like the foot in the door. You know. Just the same way that Aquapolis, Skyridge, Expeditions, back in the day when they were released, were some of the most unpopular sets. The most unpopular, almost bankrupted Pokemon cards. Nowadays are some of the most valuable. In this dawn of the collectible, the age of the collectible, it's kind of hard to predict exactly what people will think is collectible in the future. You could try. You could try. We take a guess with Pokemon because it has been collectible for a while now. It's just a guess that it probably is going to stay somewhat collectible, you know. Part of it is there's a lot of cool shit. Remember when you were a kid and you really wanted that thing? And then your parents were like, no, we can't afford it. Well, now because you work a corporate slop job, you can afford it. Isn't that fun? Also, your corporate slop job sucks ass. Don't they all? We are nostalgia freaks. Because a lot of us were sold a world that is dead now. And or its corpse is kind of getting propped up. You know, like they're shoving wires and stuff in it. The corporations are like propping up these dead corpses of the things that we used to love and then wandering them around and using them to advertise to us. That sucks ass. It really does. We're nostalgia freaks, our generation. Is it going to last? Maybe not. But because of that, we are the initial bump that collectibles needs to make it forward. What I think is really long term. A lot of people were wondering, why vintage clothes? Why vintage clothes? Because it doesn't take a genius to realize that these Lee jeans that they made in the 90s have a thicker, heavier feel to them. The hem feels thicker and heavier. The stitching, the fibers of the stitching visibly look heavier. You could probably put the pants on a scale and they would weigh more. The cost of the pants nowadays are more expensive, but the quality is down. That's one thing that fueled the vintage clothes freak-offs, all right? That is continuing. That the vintage clothes is starting to die. I'm not going to go into that. There's a demand for useful things again. Now, how does that fit Pokemon? It doesn't. Okay? It doesn't. But the nostalgia combined with people looking in these places. Oh, look, that's Pokemon. I remember that. Done. Just like that. Collectibles is not only going to be fueled by Americans. I really should learn Mandarin at this point because I do mention the Chinese quite a bit. We saw upwards of $20 trillion of Chinese real estate value just evaporate into nothing because they thought their population was more than it was. In this world of you will own nothing and you will be happy, China's already kind of living in that. Look to China. They're smart. The idea was smart. They just got lied to. Well, I can't own the real estate. I'll rent it. Eventually somebody will come up behind me. My retirement plan will be renting out this real estate to somebody else. Well, that's gone. Within the past 5 years, they also got access to Pokemon. It's finally legal in China. They're investing heavily into Pokemon, collectibles, all sorts of different things, tangible objects that kind of skirt the rules of you're not allowed to own anything. Well, I got a couple slabs under my bed. How are you going to know? You can't hold a house. On paper, you can hold a house. But again, that on paper, that's kind of just going back to you don't really have much. Sony. Thank you, Sony. I'm not sure how I'm going to apply it yet, but I really love this idea of selling you access to a Pokemon card without actually giving it to you. I'm not sure how I'm going to work it into my business model yet. But I'll let you know, the technological department of Andy Collects Plus is working very, very hard to figure out how I can sell the same card more than once. Wow, would that be revolutionary. Sony is following suit with not selling discs anymore. When you don't have the disc and the power goes out, you can't play the game. Also, we're just falling right back to this. Everyone's telling us we're not going to own anything, which is kind of making people want to own the thing again. It's like, don't touch the red button. Don't touch it. Well, I'm going to touch the dang thing, you know? More than just Pokemon, I like this reference. I got into Beyblades at the start of the year. I'm going to explain why I like Beyblades. I think they're very similar to Pokemon cards well, for one, they're getting scalped. I'm sorry, Beybladers. Part of that could have been me. The most popular, the most valuable Beyblades happen to be the ones that are the best to play with. When you play with it, you damage it. So you end up with a scale of conditions all the way from really nice, brand new, near mint, down to heavily played. When you're actually out there playing with it and using it, well, now we just created a market for anyone that still has one that isn't played with. Beyblades, the Coro metal coat ones are limited print, sometimes as little as 3,000 of them. I mean, these are all the things you want to hear as a collector. Our generation doesn't quite like antiques as much. But we really like old refrigerators. We seem to really like old toolboxes. It's got to have some use to us. It seems like, there's plenty of people that still like the art and just things for the sake of looking at them. Look at me. But there's a high demand for use. This is a collectible that is going to be played with. It's on the rise right now. And I mean, look at this. Look at the size in the package that it takes up. There's a lot of value in these small packages. You'll own nothing and be happy. Psych, I got my slabs. How are you going to take these from me? Pokemon, I think, is safe from we're going to sell you the rights to it. I mean, look at Pocket. Pocket's fun and all, but nobody's investing into TCG Pocket. We saw NFTs, and clearly Sony is showing us that non-ownership is not the future. I think all of these things add into collectibles being the next big thing. They're approachable.